installed Apache server, create a database, and create a table with constraint inserted value. Now today we're going to learn how to update a record, how to delete, and how to query records from database or table, how to query from more than one table, what are SQL functions, and what is normalization. Okay, to start with, last day we have inserted few values, right? To student list table and then MySQL. Acha, yesterday's session, do you have any doubt whatever we have done yesterday?
No, sir.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, I am unable to set the foreign key to in the. I have one doubt, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, in the table,
Hmm.
student list or stream list, I think there is one attribute named HOD ID. I am unable to set that as a foreign key.
Do you have a faculty table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you just go to one second, just to leave. See, I have this stream master.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, shouldn't we use queries for creating primary or foreign key?
Hmm.
Um, Sir, you are using option, that's why I am asking.
Query. Acha. See, first select your table, then go to structure, and there is a button called relational view. Relation view. In this relation view, you have to first you have to give a constraint name, whatever name you can give. Now then you have to select the ID of stream table which you want to make as a foreign key. So HOD ID. Then you have to select the database. And then table name from which you want to create a relation is a faculty table and the column name of faculty table which you want to make as a relation. Clear? And after that you save it. So is it okay?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in the stream list table, I did HOD ID as integer data
Hmm.
type, and
Hmm.
in faculty MST, I
Hmm.
did faculty ID as integer. But in
Hmm.
spite of that, it is showing error creating foreign key on HOD ID, check data types.
Integer, how many values you have given? Have
It
you
is
make,
taking 11 by default.
yeah, okay. And have you make faculty ID as the primary key?
Yes, sir.
Then it should not give any problem. And HOD ID also integer, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm, then it should not give any issue.
Sir, I did using alter table command, still it is showing error.
Okay, then after this class, we'll check where the mistake is. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now we start with last day we have inserted records. Now we want to update few records. I need to make changes.
Sir, one question I have.
Yeah.
Sir, is a integer value of size 6 different from an integer value of size 7?
Yeah, actually you can suppose I put a integer value of 2
Yes,
and I put an integer value of 3. Then in integer value of 2 you can maximum put 99 and
yes, sir.
integer value of 3 you can put maximum 999. That's it.
So, no, sir. In her doubt, she could not set the foreign key, and you said that since like by
No,
default
it
it is
should not.
11. So
It
if
should
I
not
take,
have any problem. It should not have any problem.
if I take an integer value of 7 and another integer value of 6, can it
Hmm.
should could not be set as a foreign key for that? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
asking that.
yeah. You can.
Okay.
Only thing is that when suppose you have set a foreign key, primary key faculty, the size is say 7, and HOD ID size is say 6.
Yes.
So it will in 6 digit you will have no problem in HOD, but whenever you are typing 7 digit in HOD, then you will have a problem, data type mismatch.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. So yesterday I was facing this same problem. So I
Mhm.
figured it out this way that actually I first of all created the table and inserted the value into it. Then I tried at relating the data, so I was getting the problem, and the problem was that in HOD table I was having the HOD ID,
Which is
which was
not
not
there in
there. Yeah, yeah,
the
yes.
faculty table. Okay, yeah.
So when I fixed that and then I tried adding the
Have
foreign key,
to,
then it was
first you have to
successful.
delete the table. First you have to delete the
Yeah,
table, right?
yes, yes.
Great. So now we start today's session like how to update a record in a table. Suppose in record 2 I have got student ID, student name, then parent name is missing. So I need to add the parent name. Go to SQL query. I use update, then table name, then set the column name is equal to within single quote, then I have to put the value of this field. Now, if I write only this statement and execute it, can anyone tell me what will happen?
Uh, Sir, you have to set where you want to. There
No,
will be higher.
no, I'm not setting anywhere. I'm just executing this query. So then what will happen? Does it execute or it will give an error or
It
what will
will.
happen?
I think it will give a error. You because you didn't set the location.
I set the location.
Yes, you have
I've given which table I'm updating, which
Sir, it
field
will
I'm
update
updating.
all the parent name. in the table.
Okay, now we got two answers. One is telling it will give error, the other one is saying it will update all the records.
Yes, I just executed the query. It is updating all the
Yes,
parent
I
name.
didn't do
Yeah,
like
very
that.
good. It will update all the records in the table. To avoid that, we give a condition where say student ID is equal to 2. Now if I execute it, it will update only the record which have student ID 2. See, clear? So we can give multiple condition also, like where student ID is 2 and name is equal to say Rakesh. Clear? Regarding update, you have any issue? Just a simple statement, update table name, then set, you have to set the parameter. Okay, one more thing, update, set. Suppose I want to change say student name and his parent's name. So can I execute in one query or have to type separate query for individual field?
Can be done in a single query.
Hmm?
Yes, sir, we can do it in a single query.
Yes, sir. By using comma.
Right, very good. The record is changed. Okay. Now, if I want to delete a record, so now if I execute this query, it will delete all the records in my student list table. It will delete all the records in my student list table. To avoid that, here also we give condition to delete a particular record or a particular list of records. Like, suppose I can give where student ID is greater than, say, 1. If I execute this query, it will delete all the records where student ID is greater than 2. Now, can anyone tell me whether it will delete the record 2 or not. Means student ID 2, it will delete that, or it will start deleting from record 3 or student ID 3.
It will start deleting from 2.
Start from 2, right, sir?
How many of you are telling it will start from 2?
Yes, sir. 2.
So then we need to give a AND condition, right? Because it will delete after 2 and then continue deleting.
Now, tell me, 2 is greater than 2. I've given a condition that you must delete a record where you get a student ID value greater than 2. It would delete 2 if I give student ID greater than equal to 2. If my query is okay,
Sorry, sir, but you have written that student ID is greater than 1.
greater than 1. Student is greater than 2.
So
So
now
if
it will start deleting from student ID 3.
from 3, right?
Yes, sir. Now it will start from 3.
No, if I give greater than equal to 2, then it will start deleting from record number 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'll ask for confirmation.
Sir,
Values. Now if I see, one record only. Clear? And if I give delete from student list, then it will delete all the records.
Sir, I have one query, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like suppose we want to delete only student ID 2 and there is ID 3 as well. So then we will add and function.
No. What your question is? Suppose I have.
Suppose there are 3 student IDs, sir, 1, 2, and 3, right?
Right. Very
So,
good.
and
Yeah.
I want to delete only 2, not 3. I want to keep the 3 and delete only 2, the number 2 ID. So then, sir, how will we counter that problem? So, like, should we add any and statement, anything like that?
We can
No.
just simply mention equal to student ID equal
Right. Right. Student ID equal to 2.
Yes. You can use where, sir.
So could you show a similar example like that?
Yeah. Suppose I have got one only, say, okay, I just insert few more records in it. No, I've got 3 records. There are 3 records there. Now I want to delete second record, student ID 2. I want to delete. And student ID is equal to 2. See, 1 and 3 is there, 2 is deleted. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, to query records, to fetch record or to display record, see, this is my student ID, my student name, parent name, date of birth. So now, if I want to display or fetch record only student ID and student name. I just want to make a query for student ID and student name, not all the records. I'll just put select student ID, then comma, student name from student list. It will display only student ID and student name. Okay. Now, in the column, say instead of student ID, I just want to display as roll number and name. Then I can give select column name, then can put it as roll number, then comma, student name as name. Now see, the same statement I have written in two different ways. Like for student ID, as then I put roll number in an inverted comma, sorry, in the double quotes. But in case of student name, I just put it as name only, no double quotes. Now I change this name to roll number, and here you are showing name. So then my question, I come to a question that why I made two different ways. Like first one, I made it within inverted comma.
So because name is already bad character, that's why. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm writing a query. So this will display the column name student ID as roll number and student name as name. Now my question is, can anyone tell me, I have used inverted comma in case of roll number and without inverted comma in case of name. The output of the query will be something like roll number 1 and 3 and the name. Did you got my question? Why I have written the inverted comma in case of roll number and without inverted comma in case of name? Any idea?
Name is already var character, that's why.
Name is already var character. No.
Sir, I don't think there would be any problem with giving as a inverted comma or not giving.
Okay, now if I remove this inverted comma from this,
It will give error now because there is a space between roll and number.
very good. Since we are changing the heading at the time of display, but we are giving a space between strings. If you don't give any space between the strings, suppose I write roll only, then I don't require any inverted comma. But if I give a space, then we must give inverted comma so that system can understand, okay, this is a one word. We are giving inverted comma to make system understand that this roll space number is a single word or single column name. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
আইটির তো কাজই হয়, তাহলে আমাদেরকে যা ট্রেনিং করাচ্ছে এখন কোম্পানি থেকে, তবে ইয়ে
No. If I give select star from student list, it will give me the entire tables record. Okay. If I want to see the records where student ID is greater than 1, so select star from student list where student ID is greater than 1. So it will display all the records where student ID is greater than 1. Only one record is there, that is student ID 3. Okay, I said, okay. Create another table. Something right there. Forgot to give the value. Now, suppose I have today student details table where I have got values like clear. Can you see my screen? Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I want to know what is the total marks of student ID 1 and what is the total marks of student ID 3, since I have got two student IDs. Say I want to know first what is the total marks of student ID 1. Select then student ID. Now there is a function called sum. Sum, what we have to sum? We have to sum the marks from student details table where student ID is equal to 1. This student number 1 have got total marks 150. Now, is it the correct one or not? That we can check it from in English he got 80 and in math got 70. So it comes total 150. But now if I want to see the total marks of all the students, last time what I did, I just queried for a single student, right? Where the student ID is equal to 1. Isn't it? Am I audible or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Just response, otherwise. Yes, sir. So last time my query was to display a single student's total marks. Now I want to display the total marks of all the students. Then I have to use another clause. Select say student ID, then comma, sum of marks. So we can put as total marks from student details.
Can't you select some marks from student details?
Student, come again, can't do select start from? No.
Select some marks from student details, simple query.
Simple query, it will give you okay. So just select, you are asking for sum, then mark, then student details, right? This is
Yes.
what you are asking for?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this will give you the total marks.
So what are we exactly trying to get?
Individual student wise total sum.
So, but then we have given marks for like separately, right?
No.
So I'm not actually understanding the marks table which we have inputted in the previously.
See, this is the marks table where I have got this is a marks table where you have got student ID, subject, and marks.
So just one question, sir. Like for student ID 1, and his subject is English, he got 80 marks. That does not mean that okay, sir. I have understood, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry,
So
sir.
now I want to find the total marks of each student. Okay. Previously, what I did, I just find the total marks of a single candidate. That is student number 1. Select say student ID, and then sum of marks from student details where student ID is equal to say 1. Then I got the result like student ID 1 and total marks is or sum of marks is 150, right? Now I want a query by which I can find the student ID and in their total marks. In that case, select student ID and then sum of marks. We can give as total student details. Now I can give a clause called group by student ID. See, I got student ID 1, he got 150, and student ID 3, he got 120. Now tell me who couldn't follow this query or this scenario.
Got it, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is now I want to find say those students who got less than 80 in maths. So my question is, I want to find those students who got less than 80 in maths. Now my query will be select. I can find all the records start from student details where marks is
Greater than equal to 80.
what I said, who got less than 80.
Okay.
So
Yes.
less than 80 and
Subject.
subject, yes, subject equals to maths. Yes, student number money got 70. Clear?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Are you all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Sir, could you explain the group part once more? Actually, I got lagged at that time.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So now, if I want to find the total sum of individual students, individual student total sum. That means for student number 1, I've got 2 subjects. For student number 3, I got 2 subjects. But what I want the total marks for individual student. That time I have to make a group of student ID. Like select student ID, comma, say sum of marks. I want to change the heading so as total student details group by student ID. If I execute this query, it will give me the student number ID 1 is getting total marks is 150. Student number 3 is getting a marks of total 120. Clear? Now if I see the total student table, student number 1 or ID 1, he got in English 80 and 70, comes to 150, and student ID 3, he got 40 and 80, comes to 120. Clear? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Yes, all clear, sir.
All clear, sir.
Very good. Now, in the last query, I used an operator called AND. Like student ID, student marks must be greater than, less than 80, and the subject should be mathematics, right?
Yes, sir.
I used an operator called AND. This AND is called a logical operator. There are two types of logical operator. One is AND, the other one is OR. Suppose I want to find those records or those student details who got operator, right? Or operator. In AND operator, the thing is that both the condition has to be satisfied. Like the student ID, suppose I type AND operator. Less than 80. And subject is equal to so this query will give you values if both the conditions are satisfied. That means the marks is less than 80 and the subject is mathematics. Suppose if I give 20, this query will not return any value if one condition is not satisfying. That is, nobody is there whose mathematics value is 20. Am I able to make my point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Sir, could you show the output once more?
yeah. It will not give any output because nobody got less than 20 in mathematics.
Because no one got below 20. No one got below 20, right? That's
right,
why.
right, yeah.
Yes. Understood.
One condition is satisfied, like subject is math is there, but no one got more than less than 20. Now, the same thing, if I put in place of and, if I put or, then what will happen?
So it will give output.
Yeah, it will.
So it will give output even if it is
Yes.
maths or English.
It will
Yes, sir.
give output.
That
It will
doesn't
give
matter.
output only for maths. It will give only
Yeah,
for
sir.
maths
Yes.
and not
Because 20 is not satisfying for any
right.
of the subjects.
No, 20 is not. Suppose if I update, say, okay, let me check once more.
The reason is in the OR case, if any one of the condition is true,
Yes,
we will get the output.
yeah, in the case of or, if any of the condition satisfied, it will give the output. In case of and, both the condition has to be satisfied.
So we can use the AND logical operator for deleting also the statements. Like
Yes,
suppose.
for deleting, for update, everything.
Yes,
We
sir.
can use this operator
Okay,
for
sir.
all the three.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, every time I'm giving this thing like student ID, I want to know the student name. I want to know the student name. Who will remember the ID? So now, but my student name is there in student master table, and in student details table, I got the marks. So now what I need to combine these two tables and frame a query. So now, so I want to display student name, student ID, there is subject and marks. In that case, select now see this query. What I need the output like student name, student ID, their subject and their marks. For that, my student name is there in other table and student subject marks are in other different table. One field is common, that is student ID. So with that student ID, I can make a join. This type of join is called inner join. Now what I'm doing here, I'm just select A dot. A is what? A is a alias name of, you will find that alias name of student list table. Basically here I am declaring the alias name. If I don't declare this alias name, then what will happen? See, student ID is there in both the tables. In student list table, there is a field called student ID. In student details table also, there is a field called student ID. Now, if I don't use the alias name and just giving student ID, then computer will confuse that from which table I should take the student ID.
Yes.
And if we make the computer confused, then he will not give any output. So to avoid that, we use this alias name. No, if I don't want to use alias name, then
So there will be an error. Kindly remove A before S student.
It's a S student.
There's a spelling error.
Oh, so
You wrote S student.
So now, if I don't want to give the alias name, then in place of alias name, we have to give the table name. So then, what we could have done: select student underscore list dot student ID, then comma student underscore list dot student name, like this way. To avoid that, we use the alias name. Now, if I execute this query, just make a copy of it. Same. Student ID is there, student name is there, and their subject is there. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, then what are the different types of join?
Inner, outer.
Yes, inner join, outer join, and outer join are of two types: left outer join, right outer join, and
Full outer join.
yes,
Full
full outer join. Right. So you are aware of joins, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, okay, I need to create a table. Acha. There another function. If I want to find the average of marks obtained by the student, then select this will give a average. Okay? Total was 150, then average is 75. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I want to find those student whose parents' name is not there. Can anyone try? I want to find those records where parent's name is not there. Question is clear?
Yes, sir.
No, tell me.
Sir, inside colon we should not.
Try it. So my query should display only record number or student number 3, right? So now how to find this?
Sir, inside colon we will give nothing. Where?
Okay, what you want? What you're trying to say that if I give where say parent, how many of you agree with him? You want like this?
Yes, sir.
How many of you agree with this that this will work? It will not work. But it should not give because this is a null value. This is a null value.
Sir, both are same, isn't it?
No, actually, space is not a null value. What I made
Because there will be already garbage value, right?
garbage value. Null is a garbage value, you can say. Insert, I made something. So it should give like.
So the problem might have occurred is that while creating the table, we must have set the parent name as not null.
Maybe.
That is why when we are giving it as a blank inverted comma, then it is accepting because there is no string. If we would have set it as null only, then that query would have worked.
Yes. Yeah, then if you don't specify that value, then it will give a null value. It will store null value.
Yes.
Okay. What if I want to find how many students or find those students whose name starts with say R?
that we can use the like operator, that like clause.
Yes, sir.
Like what?
The like clause, like, like.
Yes, sir.
Select
There is
star
operator
function.
name like.
Like, then what? I want to
The like
find.
R percentage.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, sir. Under inside colon. Yes.
Where so student name like or then percentage. Now, if I want to find those record whose last character is U, then
So percentage R.
percentage
Percent
R,
U.
percentage U.
No, percentage use. Sorry, sorry.
And if I want to find those record whose second character is A,
Underscore A. That will be.
underscore A only.
No, underscore percentage A.
Underscore percentage A.
Maybe. So.
Try again. Try again. You are very close. Missing something.
I think percentage underscore A.
Sir, underscore A percentage.
Very good. Underscore is used for a single character. So when I say the second character, that means first one should be a character. So how to denote that character? Percentage means a group of characters. There might be one character or more than one character. But underscore means there should be one character. That's any character it may be. Then I said second character is A. That means first anything, then A. And then after A, there could be anything. So that is percentage. Clear?
Sir, one query, sir,
Yes,
in
sir.
this.
Yes.
Sir, suppose if you want to find out J, like in Raju, right? RAJU. So then we have to put 2 times underscore.
2 times underscore, right? Second, if I say third character is J, that means 2 times underscore.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah. Similarly, if I want to find the second last character of any student is J, then find out those students whose
Percentage
second.
J underscore.
Wait,
Yes, sir.
J underscore. And percentage means anything, then J, and then a single character that is underscore. Very good. There is another function called max. So maximum number is 80. Now, I want to find the detail of that student who got maximum number. If I want to find the detail of that candidate or that student who got maximum number in any subject. Can anyone try? My question is clear?
So select student ID where marks is equals to max of marks.
What do you want? Select student. No, I want to total details. Student ID, salary. Sorry, student ID, then subject and marks.
So select star from
Okay.
table name.
Start from the student details. Then
Where marks is equals to max function, max of marks.
max of what?
Marks. So there will be error. You select.
See, in SQL, you cannot use function with a where clause. If I execute this will be a error.
Can't you use bracket there? Bracket before max.
Bracket before max, like select star from student details. Now what you want? Where what?
Marks equal
Marks equal to
first. Inside first bracket we will get max marks.
same thing. Nah? You are using the function.
Yes, sir.
It's not possible. In this scenario, we need a subquery like select star from student details where marks equal to within first bracket I put select max marks from student details, then bracket close. Now, how this query executes is the theory of, now you get the detail of, since we got maximum number for 2, that is 80 is the maximum number which 2 students got it, so it will display both the details.
So one question. So can we use an alias like for select max marks from student details?
Student, come again?
Like, sir, like we are writing. Sir, please go back to the program. Then I can like tell you where my exact query is. Yes, sir. So in after the where statements, marks equal to select max marks from student details. The select part, can we use the can we put the whole thing in a alias type situation?
Yeah. You can.
So like how it will be like going? So can you just explain?
Okay. First, I just discussed with this.
Okay,
So
sir. Sure, sir.
here, what I have done. Here I have done. I use a subquery. What is subquery and how it works? This is your main query. And this one is a subquery. In this, subquery will execute first, then the outer query. So while executing, it will first execute select max marks from student details. That is, it will give me the maximum marks, say 80. Then the outer query will execute. So outer query will got select star from AMP, select star from student details, where marks is equal to, already we got 80. So it will display a simple total details of candidates who are getting marks 80. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if I want to find the second highest details of those students who got second highest marks. Just try it with yourself. Did you got the question? No, try it. Are you guys enjoying or it's just like a boring again or training class?
No, sir. Enjoying a lot.
So then what should be the query? No, this is how will you get the value? 80 something, you don't know, na? What is the highest value? First is let's start from student details where marks is equal to. Then I start a first subquery that is select maximum marks from student details where marks is less than. Then my second subquery starts. It says select max cell from student details. So now this query will give me the maximum salary in the table or maximum marks in the table, and this query will give me the maximum marks which is less than the actual means the highest marks. Basically this query will give me the second highest marks.
Got it, sir.
See, second highest is 70, so it just give me the second highest details. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, I will just give you some tasks and we'll again continue from 4 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir.
just complete the task by that time. I will just send you in the WhatsApp group. Okay.